Hello children, happy to see you again. How are you all? I hope you are fine and safe. I am Dakshayani, handling biology from Bardasnar Metric Higher Secondary School, Arakonam. Children, today we are going to see 11th standard botany, the first chapter. What's the name of the chapter, children? Living world, right? What are the things we discussed in the living world? We discussed about the virus, bacteria, and now we are going to discuss about the fungi, right? So let us go into the topic. So first, we are going to see the classification of the fungi. The fungi is classified into four major classes, that is class phycomycetes, ascomycetes, basidiomycetes and deuteromycetes. It's a 2-mark question, children. What are the classification of fungi? So let us discuss about these 3-4 things in detail. So again, phycomycetes is again classified into oomycetes, critidiomycetes and deuteromycetes. And here again the person named Constantine J. Alexopoulos and Charles W. Mims, he classified the fungus into 3 major categories, that is Gymnomycota, Mastigomycota and Amastigomycota. So now let us see about the classification in detail. So what is the first classification, children? Phycomycetes. So phycomycetes is divided into 3. Let us see about the 2. First one is a oomycetes. Oomycetes, it possesses cenocytic mycelium. What is cenocytic, children? We saw the cells are present without the septum. If the septum is absent, that mycelium we call it as cenocytic mycelium. And here the cell wall is made up of the substance called glucan and cellulose, right? And this type of fungi, oomycetes, if this is an example of oomycetes, it possesses a flagellum and a whiplash like this. It possesses a whiplash. So, and sexual reproduction is oogamous, example albigo. So, this is about the oomycetes. Given example of oomycete, children, albigo. Next, zygomycetes. Here, some are parasitic. For example, some live on the housefly. Right? Example, Entomophthalus. Entomophthalus is a fungi which live on the housefly. Housefly, E. Right. Next, some are saprophytic. That is, they live on the dead and decay matter. For example, non-living matter. Example, bread mold fungi. If you keep a bread for more than a week, more than 3 days, what happens, children? You can see the blackish layer formed over the bread, right? That is due to the fungus called mucor. What was the name of this? Mucor. And Corpophilus fungi in a cow dung. You see on a road, cow dung is not disturbed. You can see the white color layer over the cow dung. That is, we call it as Corpophilus fungi. Example is Philobolus. Example is Philobolus, and this is the structure of the Rhizopus, children. It's a bread mold fungi, right? So now let us discuss about the another type, ascomycetes. First we discussed about the phycomycetes, now about the ascomycete. Here ascomycetes includes yeast which we use for fermentation, baking and all, right? Yeast, powdery mildews. This is a image of the powdery mildews, right? White color powder surface is seen on the plants. Powdery mildews, cup fungi and morels. And here most are terrestrial. They are present on the land. Hence we call it as terrestrial saprophytes, but few are parasite. What's the difference between saprophytic and parasitic, children? Saprophytic means they live on dead organisms. Parasitic means they depend on the living organisms, but both cannot synthesize their own food, right? Next, here the asexual reproduction takes place by means of fission, budding, odia, conidia and chlamydospores, right? But the sexual reproduction, we can see it takes place by the fusion of nucleus. Syngamy takes place, and here plasmogamy is not followed by the karyogamy. What do you mean by plasmogamy? Separation of the plasma membrane. And what is karyogamy? Nucleus, right? Nucleus gets fused. So first the nucleus separates and later it is followed by the plasmogamy. Here dikaryotic condition. What mean dikaryotic, children? 2 nucleus condition is maintained. So now let us see about the development of the ascus, right? Here, this is a hypha of the ascus children. Here you can see the tip of the hypha is recurved. The tip of the hypha is recurved, and this time at this condition we call this as a cozier. What we call? We call this as a cozier, and then two haploid nucleus fuse to form the diploid nucleus 2n, and the diploid nucleus gives rise to a new ascus, and it undergoes a meiosis division and produces 4 haploid spores. Haploid means what, children? Diploid means 2n, haploid means n condition. Haploid spores, and later it is again divided into 8 spores, right? So these spores we call it as ascospores. Ascospores, and the body covering this we call it as a ascocarp. So this is how the ascus get developed. Next, shape. Based on the shape, ascocarp we can classify into 4. First one, naked asci. That is, the ascospores are visible. We say the such condition as naked. And cleistothecium. Cleisto means closed. So the ascospores are closed. Such structures we call it as cleistothecium, and perithecium is a flask shaped. What is the shape? Flask shaped. Ascospores we call it as a perithecium, and the cup shaped structures we call it as apothecium. Cup shaped, right? Such ascospores we call it as apothecium. So based on the shape, from this 2 mark question we ask children what are the 4 types of ascocarps based on their shape. So next we can see about the another type, that is a basidiomycetes. Basidiomycetes mostly are poisonous in nature, children. Toadstools, bird nest fungi, bracket fungi, stink horns, rust and the smuts, right? So these are all poisonous, mostly poisonous, and here they are terrestrial, live on land, saprophytic, that is they live on dead organism, parasitic, there some live on living organisms also, and here the mycelium is well developed. What is a mycelium? The hypha is interwoven to form a structure called mycelium. So here doliphore is formed. Doliphore septum, that is a bracket shaped septum, that is a bracket, it's in the shape of the bracket. Such a thing we call it as a doliphore septum. From this the diagram questions may ask children, draw and label doliphore septum. Doliphore refers to the bracket shape, right? So next, another type is a clamp connection. You see, one nucleus is connected to the another nucleus by means of a clamp. Why it should be connected by the clamp? To maintain the dikaryote. Di means 2, karyo means nucleus. To maintain the dikaryotic condition, and here both sexual and asexual reproduction takes place. Asexual reproduction takes place through conidia, budding, and sexual reproduction we can see in as basidiospores. Here this is the nucleus in the basidiomycetes fuse together to form a fused cell, and it undergoes the meiosis and produces 4 haploid basidiospores. What is this, children? 4 haploid basidiospores. And here these spores remain attached to the basidium, which is club shaped. So we can also call this as club fungi. So the sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction takes place in basidiomycetes. So what is the next type? Last type of the fungi is about the deuteromycetes. It is an imperfect fungi. Why we call it as imperfect? Because it lacks sexual reproduction, right? So they lack sexual reproduction, hence we call it as imperfect fungi. But they reproduce by means of producing special structures like this. Example, Pynidium, Acervulus and Synmeta. So these are all the special structures. So since they do not produce by sexual method, how they are in various shapes, children? Yes, here is one important twisted question, because parasexual cycle takes place. Here instead of sexual, what takes place? Parasexual cycle takes place. Hence, it leads to the genetic variation among the species. Right? From this, the important need questions may ask: is this deuteromycete sexual reproduction is absent, but how the variation takes place? Right? It is due to parasexual cycle. So, we discussed about the 4 types of fungi. So, next, economic importance. Just take down the notebook and write down all these things, children. Edible mushrooms, right? You all like mushrooms, right? So, what are all the things? Lentinus edodes, Agaricus bisporus, Bolverella bolvaceae. These 3 mushrooms are edible. Some mushrooms are very attractive, children, very colorful, but they are poisonous, right? But only these 3 are edible. We can eat, we can use this as a food. And yeast you know, Saccharomyces cerevisiae, which we use for bread making. It provides vitamin B, and the fungus named Hermothecium ashby is rich in vitamin B12. Next economic importance is it is used in a medicine, right? Many antifungal antibiotics are derived from the fungus. For example, penicillium, we discussed that it is derived from the fungus Penicillium notatum. Cephalosporin, Acremonium chrysogenum. Griseofulvin, Penicillium griseofulvum. And ergot alkaloids, Claviceps purpurea, right? They are mostly used in the heart treatment, children. Vasoconstrictions, that's a constriction of the blood vessels, right? So, these are the importance of fungi which is used as a food and as a medicine. Let us see some other economic importance. Some fungi is also used in the preparation of organic acid. For example, Aspergillus niger. Aspergillus niger is used in the preparation of citric acid and gluconic acid, and Aspergillus terreus is used in the preparation of itaconic acid, right? Next, kojic acid is prepared from Aspergillus oryzae. From this they may ask many questions, children. Take down all the scientific names along with their uses. Next, bakery and brewery. Bakery, cakes, preparation of cakes. Breweries, preparation of alcohol, fermentation process, right? So, in fermentation which we use Saccharomyces cerevisiae. What's the common name of Saccharomyces cerevisiae? Yeast. Yeast is the common name of Saccharomyces cerevisiae. And cheese preparation, cheese, we can find many holes in the cheese, right, children? They press the cheese for a long time and they allow the fungus to form. It enhances the taste of the cheese. The fungus which is used in cheese making is Penicillium roqueforti and Penicillium camemberti, right? Next one, it is also used in the preparation of enzymes. What are the fungus used in the preparation of enzymes? Aspergillus oryzae, Aspergillus niger, and enzyme rennet is derived from the mucor species, right? The next economic importance is used in agriculture. For example, mycorrhiza. Next we are going to discuss about mycorrhiza, which is used in the nitrogen fixation, absorb the minerals from the soil. Example, Rhizoctonia, phallus and scleroderma. Next, biopesticides, Beauveria bassiana and Metarhizium anisopleae. They are all used as a biopesticides, right? That is, what is biopesticide, children? Instead of chemicals, we are using a living organism as a pesticide. Next, gibberellins is a acid, is a hormone, plant hormone. This we can derive from Gibberella fugicori. Next, apart from economic importance, the fungi has many harmful, it causes many diseases in plants and animals. For example, ringworm in human beings, right? That is due to the fungus. Athlete's foot is also due to fungus. Next, some of the toadstools. I told you toadstools are very poisonous. Example, Amanita phalloides and Amanita verna. These two are the toadstools, that is a poisonous mushrooms. And some fungus leads to the spoilage of food. The fungus are Aspergillus Mucor, Rhizopus, Penicillium. Yes, example coconut and bread. Right. Next, aflatoxin is obtained from the Aspergillus flavus. It's a very poisonous toxin, children. It is obtained from it. So these are all the economic importance and the harmful activities of the fungus. So next let us discuss about mycorrhiza. This is a mycorrhiza, children. Mycorrhiza, it is a symbiotic association. What is symbiosis? Mutual relationship between the roots and the fungus. Between the roots and the fungus. Right? And what is the use of it? It helps in the absorption of minerals from the plant root, and it helps the plant to absorb minerals from the soil, and also it provides resistance to the plant so that the plant may be free from pathogens. Example, monotropha. So this is a mycorrhiza. So based on their appearance, based on their presence, we can classify the mycorrhiza into two types. One is a endomycorrhiza, and another one is a ectomycorrhiza. What do you mean by endo? Endo means inside, ecto means outside. First we can discuss about the endo. Here the septum hypha penetrates inside the cell. For example, this is the root cell, children. If this is a root cell, the hypha penetrates inside the root cell. The hypha penetrates into the root cell, hence it is called as endomycorrhizae. But here in the case of ecto, it is present on the root surface. The hypha is present in the bundle, as a bundles on the root surface, and it penetrates only through the intracellular spaces. What do you mean intracellular spaces? If this is a cell, this is a cell, this is a cell, the hypha penetrates in between the spaces. It does not penetrate the cell. So two different, important 2 mark question, children. Differentiate between ectomycorrhizae and endomycorrhizae. So last one about the lichens. Like this is a picture of the lichen, children. It is an association between the fungals and the algae. So association between the fungi and algae, we call it as a lichens. The algal partner is a picobiont or photobiont, and the fungal partner is a mycobiont. Right. Next, based on the presence, we can classify the lichen as corticolous. Corticolous means on the bark. If it is present on the bark of the tree, we call it as corticolous. Lignicolous. Lignicolous means on the wood, dead and decay wood. Saxicolous, on the rocks. If the lichens is present on the rocks, we call it as saxicolous. If it is present on the ground, we call it as a terricolous. And if it is present under the sea, on the rocks, on the siliceous rocks made of silica, right, we call them as marine, and it is said to be freshwater when it is found on the siliceous rocks of the freshwater. What is a freshwater? Lake, right, river. And based on their morphology, based on their appearance, we can classify them as crustose. What is the first type? Crustose. It is in the shape of the crust of the earth. So crustose. Squamulose, the lichens is in the shape of the square. So it is said to be squamulose. Foliose, it is in the shape of the leaf, foliage we say, right. So it is, since it is in the shape of the leaf, we call this as foliose. Fruticose is branched. Here the fungus lichens is branched, we call it as fruticose. Next, about the classification of the lichens, children. Here homoisom, it's a book bag question, children. What is homoiomerous and heteromerous? Homoiomerous means here algal cells are distributed. For example, in a fungi, algal cells are evenly distributed, right. In heteromerous, here there is a single layer, there is a distinct layer, different separation for algae and different separation for fungi. It is said to be heteromerous. And if the fungal partner is ascomycetes, it is said to be ascolichens. And if the fungal partner is basidiomycetes, we discussed some of the fungi, right, children. If the fungal partner is basidiomycetes, it is said to be basidiolichens. It's from this the 2 mark questions may ask, children. Differentiate between ascolichen and the basidiolichen. Differentiate between homoiomerous and heteromerous. Last is about the economic importance of the lichens. First, it is prepared in useful for the preparation of organic acids. Example, oxalic acid and usnic acid. Oxalic acid helps in the weathering of rocks. What do you mean by weathering, children? Breaking of the rocks. And some acids like usnic acid, they have antibiotic properties. It's used to stimulate the antibody formation in our body. Next, some lichens are pollution indicators. They are very sensitive to especially sulfur dioxide. So we can use them as a pollution indicators. The lichen get destroyed when the air is polluted. So we can say this as the pollution indicators. Next, acid base indicators. Some lichens like Rossella montagni, they are used in the lab to found whether the substance is an acid or a base. When you say a substance as acid or a base, children, 7. If it is below 7, pH is below 7, it is said to be acidic, and if the pH is more above 7, it is said to be a base, that is the alkaline. So this can be indicated by this lichen. And some fungi, some lichens like Cladonia rangiferina, it is used for the food for the cattle. So with this, the first chapter, living world, comes to an end, children. We have completed this lesson nearly in 8 or 9 parts. Go through the subject material well and take down the notebooks, practice all the diagrams and work out the assessment to know how far you understood the topic, children. Parents, please guide your children to do their homework. Thank you, children. Have a nice day.